Oh. Oh.
Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Problematic Podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood co-host, Rita, with my friendly neighborhood co-host, Whitney. What's up, Whitney?
Hey, how's everybody? How are you doing, love?
I am all right. Not too bad. I've got some big feelings on my heart that I'm gonna share with you and the listeners today. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna help people get through their Monday. It's gonna be great. It
sounds like a group therapy session. We're gonna get through this.
Yes, I have lots of big feelings.
Lots of the big feels.
Yes, lots of big feels. Yeah, I'm gonna just get right into it. So I'm gonna start with what I've been listening to, but it's gonna come with a little extra. So please, if I cry a little bit, just bear with me.
Oh, I'm coming across the screen. I gotta hug you. You know, you can't do this to empaths.
I'm sorry. I'll try and keep it. I'll try and keep it contained.
No, but do what you need to. Do what you need to.
So I don't know if you watch Snowfall. I don't. It doesn't strike me as something that's up your alley. She's shaking her head no. So that's
Bluey.
no. So
we're watching Bluey.
So there's 6 seasons of Snowfall, and it just ended. The season finale premiered last week. And let me start by saying I have not been watching this show for 6 years. I started watching this show in like early March, binged it, caught up, watched the series finale. I am not going to spoil it for anyone, but my favorite TV show is The Wire. As far as TV shows go, this is very, very close to The Wire. Some people say it's better than The Wire. Some people say it's like spot on, but it might be the best series finale that I have ever watched. I'm not going to ruin it for the people who work and have kids who watch it on Hulu, who haven't gotten an opportunity to watch it yet, because this is the music segment. What I can say is the very last song of the show was Kendrick Lamar's Pride. And when I say I spent the entire weekend listening to not only that song Pride, because it was very befitting with the placement of the song and the lyrics and what happened to the main character and how the series ended. Beautifully done. Whoever made that happen, kudos to you. I hope you win all of the awards. May your career in the industry be blessed. But I also went back and like listened to the entire damn album and was just reminded. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I have been playing Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper since it came out last May. I listen to Count Me Out at least 3 times a day. It gets me through my last set. But to go back to that album and kind of like put it in rotation over the weekend, I went on walks, I went outside, I listened to it while cleaning. It is just such an amazing album, and Pride is such an amazing song. And to see the juxtaposition of like this character and like his rise and his fall and then his rise again, and ultimately how the show ended, and have that song right there. Shout out to everybody who worked on that show, because, you know, it started off as a John Singleton show and we lost John Singleton, and they gave a John Singleton Easter egg within the show. It was just a really emotional full circle moment bringing that show in. And I haven't been watching it for 6 years like the viewer. So yeah, my what I've been listening to is Kendrick Lamar's Pride. I know I said a lot because I
love that you tell. I love a Rita story.
I'm sorry. I know.
No, I love the Rita stories. I do. I live for the Rita stories because, like, I love that everything comes with some type of like attachment to something else, and I like watching your thought process and things. So please don't apologize for stories.
My brain is like a hoarder's house. Like inside of my brain, it looks like an episode.
That.
No, you don't have to. I said it. I can own it. Me and my therapist are working through it.
I was thinking about like a bunch of kites.
Yeah, okay, that works. I like
a bunch of kites. Like your mind is like a bunch of kites, and like there's a person down there holding it, and they're holding up something else. And it's like, you know, like this reminds me of this. Like there's a bunch of connections. Like you're a connector, and that's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind.
I am not. Oh wait, you know what? I am. I am kind. I'm not nice.
You know what?
I am not nice.
And you're nice to me.
Well, you're my friend.
I've seen you drag people by their nostrils and their wisdom teeth. But
all of them. Listen, people have gotten embarrassed over the last 2 weeks, and that might be a conversation for another podcast. But
or this one,
or this one.
Well,
we'll see.
What have you been listening to?
Not a damn thing, because I'm
That's fine.
Not a damn thing. I've been.
You poor thing.
I guess my thing comes with it's been a very busy week. It's been a very busy last 2 weeks. It's been a very busy last 3 weeks, because I posted one post that said, "Hey guys, these storybooks with Black main characters are not written by Black people. That in and of itself is not a problem. The problem lies in," and I said this in the post. I'm the only content creator you'll ever meet who does not like to go viral. I'm the only one probably you'll ever meet. I hate going viral.
I don't understand you.
Hate it because because of the content that I create. And it's not like, I'm doing a dance and like everyone starts doing the same dance. It's like me coming out and saying something common sense about my people, and then every racist troll crawls from beneath their rocks.
This is true.
Their inbreeding rocks, and comes and tries to attack me. And I have to pull out my giant sword of shade and beat them back.
Episode title. Continue.
No. But like all I said was like, these books were not, they have Black main characters, but they're not written by Black people. Like there's a book called Jabari Jumps.
No, you about to piss me off. Okay. All right. We're here. We're doing it. Let's do it.
There's a book called Jabari Jumps. It's about, there's actually a Jabari series, right? Little Black boy learning how to swim, right? The book is called Jabari Jumps. You know how pools are like an incendiary topic when we talk about Black people. Swimming is an incendiary topic when we talk about Black people. I'm looking at this book and I'm like, this is adorable. This is so cute. This is so great. It's a father and son story. It's heartwarming. He's brave. He jumps in the deep end. He's learning how to swim. Gaia Cornwell wrote that book. Gaia Cornwell. And for anyone who's confused, Gaia ain't melanated. Jabari Jumps is the name of the book. And you couple that with the fact, and when I tell you, like, there was a bunch of Black people in my comments talk about, I'm so disappointed. We love the Jabari series. This is really, really disappointing. I didn't realize this. And then there's a bunch of other Black people saying, this is why we always look up the authors. You got to make sure that your representation comes from the source, not from observation. And I'm like, that makes perfect sense. But then you had a bunch of people who were like, this is an attack against these authors, and they're just doing a good thing. And, Black people have to decide what they really want. Do they want representation or not? And I'm like, yeah, we want representation. We want actual representation from the source. I feel like I become
not blackface in books. This
Negro.
Is wild.
I said that. So I said that, and then somebody got very, very upset with me and said, well, how dare you say that this is blackface? Why don't you consider the feelings of the authors? The feelings of the authors. Let me tell you a stat that's going to blow your mind. You ready for this? And I learned this. Ready. There is an advocacy group called PEN America. PEN America published a report that said 95%.
I don't like where this is going.
Of fiction books published between 1950 and 2018 were by
non-melanated people.
White authors. And it'd be different if it was like non-Black authors, because like I would feel some type of way about it, but then I'm like, all right, but that includes Latinx people, that includes Asian people, that includes so many other people. They just said white, so then that means like literally everyone who's not white is in that 5% for 68 years.
Boy.
And then you couple that with the fact that there's books that like we are writing and we can't get published, so we have to self-publish, like we're forced to.
Right.
And then you're looking at books like Jabari Jumps.
It's not funny, but it's funny. It's
funny.
Oh, it's the playing in the face of the African Americans that is just, it's getting really. I laugh because I can't be angry all the time. I cannot walk around being angry all the time. I can't
It's not healthy.
It's not.
And it's more fun to joke about it. It's more
Jabari
fun.
jumps.
Jabari jumps. There's also another series that we like called Lola. Like one of my aunt, she actually got me a book. It's called Lola in the Library, and Emmy, library
Loves
girl,
books.
loves book. So I'm like, this is so cute. Like we didn't buy it, but I was like, this is so cute. Who wrote this book?
Oh no.
Did you know Amazing Grace?
Don't stop.
Amazing
Don't.
Grace, the book, the storybook that we grew up with, the one that's on Reading Rainbow.
I'm not in the mood for this. I'm not in the mood for this, Whitney. I'm not.
Do you know how I learned that? Because I went on a rabbit hole. And I'm like, I'll be damned. I know that our parents didn't have no.
My black ass did not wake up this morning to have my childhood ruined. That's not what I got up this morning for.
When I tell you there was a communal wailing happening in my comment section when I said that. It was communal and it was ancestral. We were wailing. We were like, not amazing.
Weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Listen, renting the garments, throwing ashes and sackcloth.
Cannot stand you. Oh, you make my stomach hurt. This is a lot.
I haven't been listening to anything because I've been very busy.
Girl, I know your thumbs have to be tired.
On fire, okay? On fire. I just stopped responding. I just start pinning problematic comments at the top and letting other people do it because I'm like, here, take my light work. Because we're getting to 500,000 views on this daggone video, and I hate going viral for this reason. I hate it.
It ain't easy being famous, Whitney.
I don't want to be,
but you do
I don't
it
want to be famous.
So gracefully.
I don't
every day.
I'm grossed out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your troubles.
I've
got something that isn't going to lighten your heart. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I really want to talk about this because, while you are out here doing the Lord's work, I'm out here encountering the messiness that is the internet. Twitter is my favorite app, and I just happen to be scrolling after midnight again, and I see that
not after dark.
Jonathan Majors has been dropped. Yes, your boyfriend, your America's former sweetheart, has been dropped. Pretty much everything. Wailing. This man can't get a library card right now. It's not looking good for him. So
that tape must be crazy.
Listen, so let's start from the beginning because we already said those text messages that his attorney dropped were not a good deal. But we also remember that early on into this story, his attorney came out, gave a statement before he even got out of jail. And the statement was essentially, hey, she's already recanted. We have evidence of that. We're going to get the video from the taxi. You guys are going to see that what she said happened did not happen. And we're like, okay, great. In 2023, we're trying to give the benefit of the doubt. So then the text messages get dropped. And then every little bit of benefit and doubt that I had went out the window. I said, oh no, this looks bad. These are text messages that should have been deleted. These never should have seen the light of day. If you're my defense attorney and you're moving like this, I might as well represent myself. So boom, that's not looking good. So then we see over the weekend, we get a list of about 6 or 7 items. And these 6 or 7 items is basically, it's a list of who not fucking with Jonathan Majors no more. His talent agency, his manager. What stuck out to me, he's been dropped from, he was supposed to depict Otis Redding. Now, for you millennials, you may not be as well versed in the magic that was Otis Redding. But me growing up with my grandparents born in 1919 and 1928, and my elders, Otis Redding is a legend in the African-American family that I grew up in. So I didn't even know this project was coming out. I found out that it was a project by finding out that Jonathan Majors had been dropped from it. as well as he can't come to the Met Gala, at least not with Valentino. He had an invite and they was like, nah, stay home because it might be a lot of white women here. We don't need you putting your hands on nobody. So you're out the Met Gallery, you're off this movie, you're off this commercial, you're no longer getting this modeling gig with Valentino because I'm assuming that was what was coming next. And then your PR team drops you. Now,
wept. That's how you know. That's how you know.
The PR people
are supposed to be fighting. This video must be insane. They're supposed to be the one keeping your ass relevant and keeping your whole situation clean. What?
The public relations people.
They said absolutely not.
Okay. For context, I'm sure that
wailing.
I'm sure that they're not always happy, but Chris Brown has a PR team, and there was a time in history where every day he was in the news for something negative. Like every day.
It must be insane.
I say all of this to say, when the people who are supposed to take the ugly and do their best to make it better say it's a lot of fucking ugly in here.
Like, no, thank you.
There is a ton of ugly.
We're not going to do this.
We can't deal with this much ugly.
No, thank you.
They drop you. I have Whitney. I'm not as emotionally invested in as you have been. You have been very vocal about your love and attraction.
Grief. I'm in grief.
I was a fan of his acting, his talents. He really won me over with Lovecraft. How's and ever. I'm gonna say. You try to hold on to the benefit of the doubt, and then the text message drop, and I'm like,
yeah, those text messages, benefit and doubt, like
went out the window.
Grab their hats and put their coats on.
But someone said this could have been a woman who was dealing with mental health issues, because that was a narrative that was pushed out. Like, he had to protect himself because he was attacked by a person suffering from a moment, whatever that moment may have been. So not necessarily the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, okay, well, let's see the video. We don't have to talk because there's a video.
Right.
But in the span of the weekend or the tail end of the week, everybody says bro cannot come to the cookout. He can't come to the fashion show. We don't want him at the repay.
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Nothing. And he's worked with a lot of people over the last few months. And when I say no one has come out to say, I love him, I respect him, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, it's almost like everybody's like, nope, not touching that. Not going. I'm concerned. I think whatever is on this video.
Now all I have is Aldous Hodge.
I'm sorry.
Who I've loved forever.
I have loved him forever.
Aldous Hodge. I met him in person. He's like the nicest person.
Really?
Yeah, he was at a premiere that I was covering. And Shaft was there too. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Dad, like I'm thinking about my dad. I'm like, Dad, Shaft is here. And then I turn around like, oh shit, it's Aldous Hodge.
That's a big deal.
He's very sweet, very handsome, tall. Like, he's actually like tall.
He looks tall. He looks tall on TV.
We took pictures together. He was like the nicest. I was like, can I take a picture? So I absolutely came over, did like the appropriate like waist without like doing
where to put his hands.
Yes.
Not on your neck. Didn't strangle you.
No, not Jesus.
That's important. That'll get you canceled.
I'm in grief. I know some of you have asked how I'm doing in this moment of uncertainty and fear and sadness, but I'm not doing well.
She's not okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not doing well. Thank you guys for being so concerned about my well-being. It's not well or being. So thank you.
It's neither of these things.
No, every time I see a Jonathan Major stories, I just swipe real fast. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, just in grief. I'm like, this just does not look good. It just doesn't look good. And it's like, now people are doing like the Ezra Miller comparison where like, if they can get off, and doing like awful things, but Jonathan Majors is made to be a martyr, then what are we doing? And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that song and dance.
I don't.
Because people still have to be held accountable for the terrible things they do. We can't just point our fingers and say, what about the white person? If the white person's allowed to do it, then we should be allowed to do it. Fuck that. No.
It's a very low intelligence argument. And from what I understand, again, I've never been an Ezra Miller fan. It's like one of those things
I don't know him
like
that.
Don't affect me, so I'm minding my business. But also, I've seen people giving a little more context, and I don't know how true or accurate it is. But I have seen that, yes, Ezra Miller got to keep his role in his DC film, primarily because the film was already filmed.
Well, I mean,
so
yeah,
they weren't going to take $100 million loss and not put the film out and then add a deeper loss by throwing more money into it to recast. So like the context there matters.
A lot of things matter.
You can't act like they were like, oh shit, he beating the hell out of people. Let's get him over here and on the set.
He terrorized the island of Hawaii for a while.
Right.
The island.
Island.
Of I forget which island he was actually on, but the state of Hawaii. He terrorized those people. And sorry, they, because he's they are gender non-conforming. So forgive me for
it's all good. That. I did not know that. You've taught me something.
Gender non-conforming. That's what I've been reading about them. I don't know if that has changed, but I want to make sure that we're accurate about.
So let me apologize because I was not aware. And I want to use people's pronouns properly. I don't want to.
No, we mean no disrespect.
We mean anyone. I had no idea.
Nope.
But that part is interesting to me because context matters. Saying that this person got away with something simply because of their race, it's a little more nuanced than that. If the film was already filmed, we know we live in a capitalist society. Nobody is junking a movie that they've spent $80-100 million on.
Absolutely not.
Because someone was behaving poorly. They're always going to prioritize their dollars over what's going on in the media and people's personal lives. So that's the one point. Disney has not come out and said anything yet, but I'm sure. Listen,
they're a little busy,
Let me tell you something.
With the Satan, so we have to stop calling him the Satan.
Do we?
No, we don't. But it's not nice.
So. It's not nice, but neither is he. So same energy. Energy.
Well,
I feel like Disney will ultimately have to come out and make a decision, and it may be very similar to what we've seen happen with Ezra Miller, where it's like what's filmed is filmed.
Mm-hmm.
What's coming out this fall, whether it be that Loki TV show or whatever other movies he's in, that's done, but we're severing our ties. We don't know, but I'm sure if Valentino and the PR agency and the managers and the film production teams in development have all said we're staying away from this with whatever information they're armed with that we have not seen yet, Disney is going to have to make a decision or make a call. They may be politically correct. Right. They're going to have to say something at some point. We're not going to see him on screen without an announcement. So it'll be interesting to see, but I had to bring that up because, I know as ex of yours, this meant a lot to you. And I'm really praying your strength, friend.
Thank you. I'm in grief.
You're gonna be okay.
You're not strong. I'm not. I'm weak.
I'm sorry. there will be other handsome people on TV.
I told you all I have is all this hot. My problem is I have like a very particular type.
Oh, okay.
I have a very particular type.
And what's that? Let's talk about it. What's the type?
The type always starts with Black men.
That's a good place to start.
Well, here's the thing. I find cuties in every race. Like there's a lot of cuties around, but Black men, hands down. Down. It's just something about
a Black man.
Yes. And I like them like darker. Well, it's not hard to be darker than me, but darker than me.
I was just going to say the
it's not hard. I'm translucent at this point.
The inside of her hand and the outside of her hand are the same color.
No, they aren't. Not
They're
yet.
very close.
That's so rude. Oh my God.
And you're doing the hand thing just
Doesn't help. No,
doesn't.
we have a line. There's a difference.
It's a very faint line.
You are so incredibly rude to me.
I
Oh my
am
gosh. I'm so devastated
sorry.
that I don't have melanin and you have to make fun of me about that.
I'm not making fun of you. I was just giving context to our listeners who cannot see us. I love you for who you are. I do.
With all your melanin deficiency.
With all your melanin deficiency. I don't hold it against you at all. I love you.
Thank you, friend. I told you I'm having a difficult time. But yes, I'm just it's like a carriage sort of thing. Like some people have like a slink to them. I don't really like that. But like a man who just walks in and just carries himself in a certain way, I'm like, you give Regal.
It does it for you.
When I tell you Aldous, like that's how he like appeared, like because I didn't see him walk in the room. He just appeared out of nowhere and he was just, hey, how you doing? I'm Aldous. I'm like,
baby, I know who you are. Baby, I know who you are.
I started naming now I forgot the name of the show just now. But there was a show
Leverage
on. Yes. Because I used to watch it on that daggone they used to have it on repeat, like
on Ion. It's if you turn on Ion right now, Leverage is on, I guarantee.
I love that show and I loved his character and I love seeing him like his career just
blossom.
Just do the damn things. And so like it's kind of like that. It's like that, like very stately, very sure, very like set in themselves thing. I'm instantly attracted to it. So a black man who's very sure about himself. That's my type.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yeah, but also like, has a bit of like a sweeter side to them. Like I really like The Rock.
He seems nice.
I love seeing him with his kids. I can't talk about him though, and he's been kicked out of my like group.
Why? What he did?
He didn't do anything. He's a married man. I just don't feel right.
Okay.
He didn't do anything. He's a lovely human being. I just like you don't talk about
other people's husbands.
You don't talk about no. I wouldn't want anybody talking about mine. Absolutely not. Okay.
Girl. I listen. I respect the rule. I don't know if I necessarily be adhering to it the way that I should, but
you've done very well.
Aren't
y'all coming up on a year?
Yes, we are. July. I think that we're doing great. I
still have your invitation on the fridge.
Oh my God. You can toss it now.
I'm a good black auntie.
We have other.
I need those fruit magnets.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm getting the fruit
You're
magnets.
not old enough for that. You have
I'm doing it. I have
59 and a half to get one of
robes
those.
now. I have like big palazzo pants. I have big sunglasses. I wore them yesterday.
I love this for you, but I also don't love this for you.
I'm going into my elderly phase. I'm going to write and have plants and have a record player and like incense and a candle burning somewhere, something stewing on the stove.
No, this sounds wonderful, actually. I'm here for this.
If I had like a big house, I'd have shiny hardwood floors and like these random rugs and like, using a trunk as a table in the living room. All that.
That's my goal. That is
yeah.
But not for a while now.
Earl be grilling outside somewhere. Emmy's playing.
He's probably grilling outside right now, knowing Earl. It's gonna be 85. Yeah, Earl's grilling.
Good grilling weather. Good grilling weather.
Good grilling weather.
What are we even talking about?
We're about to get into these problematic people. That's what we're talking about.
Sorry for the tangent, guys. Separate conversation. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm here for my friend. Like, I appreciate y'all being here and listening to us, but I promise you, like, I'm here for my friend. All right.
Who we cussing out this week?
Well, first of all them raggedy people on my damn post. But I already cussed them out. Let's see. Where should we start? Let's start with the damn state of Tennessee. So after all the hoopla, commotion, disruption that's going on with Tennessee, with the Tennessee 3, Gloria and the Justins. And now everybody's no Justins, no peace. I was like, I like it. It's a great slogan, guys.
I want it on a
t-shirt. No Justins,
t-shirt.
no peace. That's so cute. And the Justins are now riled up. They have batteries in their back, and I can't wait to watch them just disrupt shit. I'm just so down for it. Turns out, allegedly, because we don't want to get sued. Allegedly, the Speaker of the House is having an affair with like another governmental person's wife who also works in government.
Oh, Jesus.
I said, T.
This has escalated quickly.
People have pulled receipts and they started sharing. She's a pretty blonde. She's very pretty. It's always the blondes. It's very pretty. And they started tagging this man's wife. Ooh. Y'all are petty for like a lot of different reasons. But the thing that's actually like an issue, so all that's alleged. The thing that's actually an issue is that the Speaker of the House for Tennessee actually does not live in the place where he's supposed to represent. So he technically cannot represent it. So he's like, there needs to be more discussion around that and what you need to do. Because he doesn't live there. He doesn't live in the district that he represents. And that's a qualification. Yeah, that's a qualification. So it's just like, sir, you're trying to kick people out for standing up for gun rights, but you're not.
You don't even go here.
You don't even go here. Let's make it worse. According to the Associated Press, following a deadly school shooting last month, Republican lawmakers in Tennessee on Tuesday approved a proposal to give gun and ammunition dealers, manufacturers, and sellers more protection against lawsuits. 3,000 people, most of them children with signs, came up to the Tennessee House and said, hey, can we please not get shot in our schools? Can y'all please do something about that? Tennessee said, no.
No.
Not only will we kick these raggedy nakers out,
FOH, no.
Kick them out. And now anyway. Also, I want to cuss out all these people who keep shooting these random young people for making like simple mistakes, like going to the wrong house to pick up your brother, or pulling into the wrong driveway, or getting into the wrong car late at night because everyone has a black SUV in the same parking lot and you happen to just, I don't know, pop off on some cheerleaders, or your basketball rolls into your neighbor's yard and you're 6 years old and you get shot for that. Y'all have got, this is not the Wild Wild West.
It's
and
not.
I wouldn't.
People are unhinged.
There's something wrong with y'all, legit. But this last one, this has nothing to do with anyone dying or anyone getting hurt. There's a viral video going around on Twitter right now of a black man on a plane yelling and about a baby who is crying on the plane right now. It is going viral. People are cracking up because he is hysterical. I'm not gonna hold you. I laugh too. Let me tell you something. Because now his ass is on a no-fly list. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for removing yourself, taking the trash out for us. There's these things called earbuds. There's these things called earplugs. Drink a little, have a little like shot of something, go right to sleep. Put your headphones on, mind your business. As a person with a small human who has never put this person on a plane, but I can imagine how frustrating it is as a parent. You pack all the things, you look up all the things to make sure the baby's okay. You do your due diligence as a parent to prepare, but the kid won't stop crying. Either they're panicking or they're in pain because their ears are popping and they don't know what's happening. And their only mode of communicating that is to cry. And you think that you being inconvenienced by hearing that baby cry is worse than what those parents are going through with their child crying, and they can't calm that child down, the level of panic that's happening in their body? Let me tell you something, sir. If you are yelling at me for my child, my infant child having a difficult time, guess who else is about to have a difficult time? Because listen, this is one of those fight, flight, or fawn things. Let me tell you what we aren't going to do.
Yeah.
Fight or fawn, because I will fight you. And then I talked to my husband about that, and we, being married, we're in agreement, because he said his arm would have come completely over to sit me down.
Right. I got it. Don't worry, babe. I got it.
You would hear two words. Listen, bruh. He said he would stand up, doing them slow stand-ups, the slow ones, because you only got one chance to disrupt what's going on. And the baby actually did stop crying because the baby was afraid, because suddenly all these adults are yelling.
This man was. May I comment on that video? Because let me tell you something. I've probably watched that video legitimately 30 times. And
it was funny.
It was hilarious.
It was funny. I thought it was a skit at first.
When he said to the fucking baby pay extra to yell, I was like, oh no, this is going very sideways very fast.
Mm-hmm.
But also, after the yelling moment, you're not gonna sit here and keep referring to my baby as a motherfucker and just get away with it. I think now there's gonna be more than one person on the no-fly list, because what you can't do is just keep referring to my child in this way. And from my understanding, somebody did hop in the comments who was on a flight and was saying, like, this wasn't an infant, this was a toddler. This was a small child, but not at 8 months
because
old.
you can't see.
You can't see. But I did see there's a snippet floating around that's not as popular that shows like the 2 minutes before the man starts like saying the funny stuff, and you can hear those cries, and that does sound like a slightly older child.
Kid. Okay.
But I agree with you and your husband. That's not gonna fly. You're gonna watch your mouth. And I understand you being frustrated. I've been on planes with crying babies. I've been on international flights that babies literally cried into you hear the throat get raw and can't cry no more. And you get the flight attendants, sometimes they have ear plugs, but you got to use you got to do what you got to do. So, while that was very, very funny, please, sir, don't get your jaw rocked. And now you got to take Amtrak and Greyhound everywhere. You are stuck on the continental U.S. for at least 2 to 5 years. So, I mean, enjoy that. His wife was so embarrassed. Poor thing. Poor thing. But with that being said, we are going to get into these problematic letters. We will be right back, guys. Stay tuned and stick with us. We always love to hear from you at the Problematic Podcast. So if you have a problematic question or story, feel free to email us at theproblematicpod@gmail.com, or now you can text us at 267-225-4648. Again, that's 267-225-4648. Standard messaging rates apply. We love to hear from you. Now let's get into today's problematic letters. All right, we're jumping right into it. I need a name for a 23 or 24-year-old young lady.
Dolores.
Oh, jeez. Every week, you are so talented. You're good at this. All right, ladies.
I promise I don't think about these on the front end. I really just wait to hear what the pronouns are.
Dolores. All right, Dolores wrote, so when I was about 23 or 24 years old, I went to Red Lobster on a first date with the guy I was talking to. We had a good time, and when the bill arrived, he looked at me and told me that he did not have enough money to cover the expense. I didn't know what to say, and the only thing I felt that I could do was leave the restaurant. I sat in my car, and I told him that I would wait a few minutes for him or else I would leave. Was I wrong? Whitney's face. We gotta just capture these moments.
No, we don't.
Where you read and I see your face twisting and contorting, like, what is happening right now?
Essentially, what is happening? I just want to make sure I am clear.
Yes.
So y'all had a lovely time. Y'all had a great chat. Y'all enjoyed your little Cheddar Bay biscuits and your shrimp scampies and everything, And then the bill came and he said he couldn't pay for it. And you said, I'm going to go sit in my car.
Yeah, she went and sat in the car. I'm going to let you figure this out. Let's hear.
Well, how did the bill get paid? I'm sorry. I'm thinking about practical things. Because if the bill needs to be paid, the bill needs to be paid. And if you just went outside, that's technically stealing. So how'd the bill get paid?
So
call me back. Say it every week. I need you to call me back. Call me back.
So what I have heard when I received this, I did my little Googles real quick. Mm-hmm. So there are instances where if you come up short, you can talk to the manager. They can apply some discounts. They can remove a thing. We're talking a few dollars short. They can make some things happen. Comp you with a coupon. Something.
Don't do this, y'all.
Yeah, please don't do this.
Pay your bills,
not smart. Like the idea of people washing dishes is not safe to the restaurant. Like you can't go back there. You could get injured. Anything can happen. So people don't actually do that. But a lot of times the manager, if you're short, isn't going to call the cops on you for being short $8 because it's a waste of their time. So they'll finagle some things. We'll remove the drinks, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. what is funny about this story, and the age of the person kind of makes it a little bit better. I at my great big age of 35, I would not expect something like you didn't leave the house with enough money. Maybe you forgot your wallet, or
Yeah.
those kind of things happen. The other day, I went to go do something with my wife, and I looked in my wallet. I went to pull out one of the card I was going to use and realized it was still in my gym shorts pocket, like at home. So, I mean, I had another card on me, but I was like, oh shit, I'm glad, I leave the house with more than one form of payment, because my wife would have had to cover that bill, which wouldn't have been a problem. But, things like that happen. I guess maybe I don't really understand how dating works for some people, because if on the day that I schedule a date, my pockets are light, then I am either rescheduling the date or I'm picking something else to do and saying, hey, listen, something came up. Would you be open to changing our plans, pushing our plans back, possibly rescheduling? Now,
This is why you've made it to adulthood. Uh, up to and through adulthood.
I guess. Now, what I also know is I am allergic to shellfish. A random Rita fact. That's a random Rita fact. I am allergic to shellfish. Around 8 years old, my body said, you can't have this stuff no more.
Anymore.
So I'm not as experienced with Red Lobster, but I do know it's a chain restaurant, and I also know that the tab for 2 people ain't coming up to be that
It's not cheap.
Damn much. It's not
cheap, but it's not expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like with chain restaurants, the great thing about them is you can kind of guesstimate what the bill is going to be before you get there, because the range in which the prices range isn't crazy. It's not like $2 to $2.50 for a lobster tail.
Right.
So I feel like the budgeting is on the person.
These are young people. So
these are the young people.
These are young people. Us aunties, we would be like, absolutely not.
Come on. Come on. If I were in this situation, no. So the person asks, were they wrong? Let me.
Yes, you were wrong, girl. It's a first date. Okay. Maybe I'm just one of those like random weirdo like feminists where I'm just like, all right, it's a bill. Like, it's the first date. It's not like it's your birthday. It's not like, I don't know if he made like this big grand gesture, like, let me take you out. Let me wine and dine.
Not the deep.
I don't know. I don't know what he did. With his little basketball shorts on, because 23. And then big sneakers that look like teeth. They look like back teeth. The sneakers that look like back teeth. Oh, wine and dine. You take you to the finest Red Lobster in town.
I hate you so much.
Not the ghetto one. I'm gonna take you to the fancy
nice
side town.
One.
The nice one in the mall. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm so rude.
Oh, you are.
I'm a rude auntie.
Oh my God.
I'm so tickled.
It's funny. You can laugh because it's funny.
I don't know how he decided to do that, but like, girl, like, listen, all right, it's no thing to just pay the bill. And if you're so embarrassed that you had to pay the bill for the first date, never talk to him again.
Never.
But don't go sit in the car and say, like, essentially figure this out. Like, what do you want him to do? Start stripping? Like, what do you think he's supposed to do?
Yeah, shake something. Shake something.
At the Red Lobster?
Listen, you take 5 minutes to shake something, collect tips. You'll be able to make up the difference on your bill. People will be entertained. It's like dinner and a show. Somebody will slip you a few singles if you shake something properly. Open your top button on your shirt a little bit. Swirl your tie around. And dance on somebody's auntie. You might.
That's assuming he's wearing a tie.
You might pick up. Yeah, that's true. Do people wear ties to Red Lobster? I don't know. I can't go in there.
Girl. I don't know. Okay. I can't go there.
I can't go in there. I don't know.
It's like, I don't know I don't even know what the decor looks like.
I don't. I'm sorry. I heard the biscuits were divine, but
we're gonna have to make you some of the biscuits. They're delicious.
Okay, that sounds good.
You
Just
can have the breads
I
and the
can have the
butters.
breads. I can have the breads and the butters, but I can't have
Yeah.
the food. So
Mm.
I will give my take. This has never happened to me.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
I can say that. I feel like if it were a first date and the person looked at the bill and was like, damn, I need 11 more dollars, I would have given them the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But there probably would not have been a second date.
And that's fine.
And the reason being it's not because of embarrassment or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking Red Lobster. I don't know these people. I'm never gonna see these people again. I don't give a damn about that. But I feel like there's a certain level of responsibility that each of us
That
has
part.
to walk into when
That
we
part.
choose to date and like take
Mm-hmm.
somebody's time up from their day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't waste my
Don't
time.
waste my time.
Don't. And I mean, again, it's a chain restaurant. So it's not like you're going to a place for the first time in a different city and then you see the menu and be like, hey, and then you're supposed
This
to
ain't
say that
it.
on the front end, like, girl, you picked
Let's
this
go pick
restaurant
somewhere else.
and I came out here with $204. That's for the tip and the meal. 204
204.
is what I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at these steaks and they $80 each. So unless you just eating steaks, no sides, we might want to go down the street. I respect that. I feel like people actually need to be a little bit more honest with their pockets because I feel like
Absolutely.
we exist in this culture where everybody's pretending like
We don't have to pretend.
people are afraid to tell their friends, "Hey, I ain't got it." And I don't know when that shift happened, but I don't like that.
Uh,
But the world is
uh,
a scary, weird place, and if
eggs are $100. We got mortgages, we got rent, we got
people's rents are going up $400 a pop. Like I was paying 1,000 last month,
nope,
and now I pay 1,400 a month. Like
nope,
that throws people's
nope.
budgets out of whack. So I don't ever give
Mm-mm.
anybody any flack or any shame for what their budget
There's
is.
nothing wrong if you don't got it. There's nothing wrong with that.
But you don't wait till the bill comes.
No, you don't go.
You don't.
You don't go unless someone says, you know what, I got you.
And that's not like a gender because you
That's
guys
not a
know
gender thing. That's not a gender thing.
if you've been here long enough, you already know that I don't date the men folk and I never have. And I've only ever been on dates with women. So I've primarily been the person paying for these dates. I've almost every first date I've been on, I've offered to pay and made the
Mm-hmm.
arrangements and all of that good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I would not risk putting my date in a
Mm-mm.
circumstance where
No.
we've just enjoyed a great meal and a great conversation and now we've ruined the night because I didn't, handle my business on the front end.
I'm very uncomfortable with this. I don't know. Like,
I'm not mad at her for going to sit in the car.
I am. I
I'm
am.
not. I'm like,
Like, what
this is something that I need you to handle because you had me come out of my house.
no. No,
No,
sister.
no,
No.
no, sister.
No.
Okay,
Like, like I said, it's okay if you never want to talk to him again. It's okay because he proved that he, didn't, you know what I say. Prior proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Like, it's just
that's a mouthful.
it's being Greek.
Oh.
It's just Greekdom. There's another part of that, but I'm not gonna say it here in this public forum. The point is that you didn't prepare for this damn date with all this shellfish and, like I said, your shrimp scampies and your cheddar bays. This was lovely. This was a great time. Lose my number.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
And you've done the cishet dating
All my life.
is that discussed who pays like before you go out?
You mean in
Is
a
there
marriage or you mean on a
not
date?
in a marriage? I mean when you're dating.
I'm like, yeah, all the time in a marriage. Dating, it's assumed that the gentleman is going to pay. It's assumed. But I've always been the type of person that I don't like ambiguity. And so I get real clear real fast. I'm like, hey, since you're inviting me on this date, like, are we splitting this or is one of us covering it and which one? I don't like ambiguity. Some people have gotten offended by that, but
Oh, really?
Yeah, some guys get really offended. Like, how dare you ask who pays for the date? I'm like, how dare I not? Like, I don't want to end up. Well, that was back when I thought we were going to be washing dishes. And I'm like, I am too cute to be having those giant gloves on. Absolutely not.
I did
No.
not spend an hour and a half straightening my hair to come and bust
Squeezing into
suds.
these damn dresses. God, like absolutely not. But I'm not also squeezing into a dress for Red Lobster. Let's just be clear. Let's just be very clear.
The shade is very
There's
apparent.
no shade. I
A little
like
bit.
it's just
It's
it's
there.
one of like you could put on a nice blouse and some jeans,
You
and
can.
a cute flat,
A cute flat.
a cute flat, a nice Coach bag. That's a good Red Lobster outfit.
It is.
You can
It
even wear
is.
one of those pretty sundresses, one of the ones that like flows and like a little cardigan, a nice little sandal. That's a good Red Lobster outfit. The dresses that I'm talking about are not.
They are not. I was wondering because
Red Lobster.
I guess I don't I'm struggling to understand how you get to a date that you ask somebody to go on and then you don't have enough. Like maybe you thought you weren't paying for this
Or maybe
person.
you under budgeted.
Maybe you under budgeted. Maybe he's never been to Red Lobster. I mean
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are, but I know for me back 100 years ago when I was dating, I was very clear. This is a date. I'm taking you on a date. Don't show up and be trying to
Aggressive
friend
way,
zone
but you
me.
said it.
No, you gotta
This is a date. We're going
don't
on a
try and
date.
play me later and be like, I thought we were just hanging out.
No, this is a
Don't do
date. I'm
that.
interested in you.
I like you.
I like you a lot.
A
So I want
lot.
personal time with you.
Right.
So this is a date. I'm here to be
Not in a
romantic.
Christian love way.
No. I want time with you. I like you. Let's be clear. See, look, you understand. I don't like ambiguity.
You gotta be clear. You gotta be clear when it comes to the same sex dating. This is not a bar run. We're going on a date. You and I are gonna hold hands. I'm gonna open your door. I'm gonna pull out your chair, and I'm gonna look you very intimately into your eyes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna ask you all about you because I'm interested.
But there's also the assumption, like I'll say, and don't worry, I got it. Do you want me to pick you up? Just making those things clear. Well, I was raised right. So
you need to talk to the straight men.
I don't want to talk to straight men. That's the last thing I
give them the tips is what I'm saying.
I don't want to
tell
know.
them.
No, this whole world that we live in where it's like
help them.
Let me tell you something.
I told your brother all the time. I'm like, you need to help your fellow straights because my girlfriends be complaining.
It's
not looking good out there.
It's not looking good. I try not to get into these things, but I'm so sick of seeing people argue over $200 dates. It's $200 dates can't be tearing Black love apart. Like we gotta intervene.
We ain't never gonna have Malcolm and
we can't go like this.
What's her name? Oh, that was a bad Black History fact. What was her name?
Whose name?
Malcolm X's wife, Betty.
Betty Shabazz.
Yeah, see, I had to say it out loud. We ain't never gonna have what Malcolm and Betty have.
No, not like this. Y'all
Michelle and Barack just looking at us shaking their heads because y'all keep tearing up Black love with $200.
I get it. I have a lot of reasons. I feel like the only people who tend to argue, and this goes for men and women. This is not me taking shots at men. It's not me taking shots at women. I feel like the only people who really feel invested in the $200 date argument are the people who can't afford it, and that goes for the men and the women because there's nothing to argue about. Yeah. Like if you enjoy dating and you don't mind spending $200, then there's nothing to argue. There's no conversation. There's no conversation.
We just spend the money.
Now, if my wife calls me and be like, babe, I want to go to dinner tonight. It's going to cost us roughly $1,100. I'm going to promptly inform her that we are not spending mortgage money on food.
That definitely sounds like
not going to happen.
Why
that's fucking up the budget in the church money. For one night. But like I have a threshold, and $1,100 is beyond that threshold. Y'all can call me what you want. There are some people out here who don't mind spending $1,100 for a 2-person date, and God bless you. But that
go drive my Toyota Civic? Absolutely not.
That is mortgage and part of the car insurance. We're not doing it. Okay.
Could be groceries for a while.
For a long while. So yeah, no, we're not doing that. But like. The people arguing, oh no, I'm not gonna let no woman that I barely know use me for $200.
Okay, so
The
since we're
company of a
drifting into this
woman.
conversation,
Go ahead, go off. Let's hear it.
it bothers me so much that we keep having these like random wars on Twitter because it's on Twitter. It's not on Facebook.
No, it's not.
It's not on Instagram. We keep having
People
these
are
fights
too old
on.
on those apps. We got
You
dinner
made
to
me
make.
sad.
We got other things to do.
You made me sad.
We have laundry to fold.
But Twitter, y'all be out here just struggling and fighting in each other's mentions about these damn dates. And I'm like, like there was one girl, she's said Golden Corral. She said Golden Corral and what was the ice cream place?
Cold Stone?
Golden Corral and Cold Stone is not a date.
Bitch, if I'm at Cold Stone, it's a date.
20. She was 20 years old. And I was like, why? That sounds like a lovely evening to me. It's like you can even cut out Golden Corral. Like I love Golden Corral.
Just Cold Stone.
Just Cold Stone and a walk through the park.
What?
Magical. What? Magical. Are you kidding me?
You take me to get some ice cream?
I was like, this why, see, this some of y'all out here trying to set these high ass standards for people that you're never going to attain for yourself. Right. Like, if you're not going to pay this kind of money for yourself, for taking yourself out, why would you don't expect other people to do that for you as well? Like, y'all want to be wined and dined like every Friday night, every Saturday night. And it's just like, that's not realistic. Like, y'all have to be realistic. Hell, we don't have to go to dinner for a date.
Right.
Dates like
I said, you take me to Cold Stone, that's a date. We go together.
We go to a book for me. If we go to a bookstore, especially like a vintage bookstore, and it's like I get to peruse and we get to like talk about books and flirt between the shelves, that's a date.
That was my first date with my wife. We did end up at a bookstore. Yeah. Just randomly. It wasn't a part of the date. You didn't
tell me that.
Well, our first kiss was in Barnes and Nobles in Willow Grove, and then they closed it.
Oh, yeah. I know that. I saw they closed it. Don't get me started. I'm very upset. I'm like,
sorry. You're not the only one. It was a very big moment, and it's closed now. But all like the people arguing over this stuff, it's like it seems like y'all don't really like the people y'all trying to spend time with,
right?
And then that makes you not want to to be fair, I don't like spending money for things that I don't enjoy. Now, if you don't enjoy this person's company, don't go out with them.
Don't go out with them.
And then, because if I enjoy your company, a $200 date is not a big deal. If I got it, it's not a big deal.
If I have it to do 100%, like, let's go.
Now, if you don't have it, why are you on Twitter arguing about it?
Why are you on Twitter arguing about it? And why are you expecting people to spend that kind of money when you wouldn't spend that kind of money on a date?
Right. I don't. It's a thing, but you know, I'm over here minding my gay business, and I can't worry about what the kids are doing. But I would love to. You know what? I'm going to send out feelers. I would love to hear some more first date stories. So if you're,
I got one. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Are we ending the show? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, let's hear it.
Well, he claims it's not a date, but 10 years later, he says it's a date. So it was a date. It was the day before my birthday in 2013, believe it or not. It was the day before my birthday. I know, this is how long we've been doing this thing with this man. So it was the day before my birthday. It was around 8:00. I had already eaten. I'm sitting on the couch in my mostly books apartment with my cat on my lap, watching my little program. I get a phone call. Hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, oh, it's just sitting in my house. Why? What's up? Hey, I'm gonna take you out to dinner. Get dressed. I'll be there in like 30 minutes.
That's a date. I
was like, but I already ate.
You know what? I cannot stand Whitney, Elise. Lord, please.
I'll tell you, I was not interested. I was not looking for.
You did. Those are the best stories. It's like Michelle Obama. Interested.
And then like, look at us now, 10 years later.
Married with a whole person.
A whole person that
got your face. Yeah, that's a date.
My expressions, his face.
Did he pay?
He did.
See, that's a date.
And looked at me disgusted when I
yeah, I met this person, so I couldn't imagine the offense.
Yeah, he's like an old black, just conservative,
old fashioned
man. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a date. That's how I thought dates worked, but apparently you get there and some people be like, I ain't got it, and then
don't show up then. Don't show up. I also have this like thing where like, you still need like my grandmother used to tell me, she's like, you need enough to cover just in case they don't have enough, and
You
you need
do.
enough for car ride home because you're not gonna be interested in getting in his car to go home.
Let me tell you something. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna end it there
Wisdom.
because your grandma gave you a gym right there. A
Wisdom.
gym. Have your
Mm-hmm.
own car fare.
Mm-hmm. Car
Have your
fare.
own. Have your old people call it car fare. Have your own
Car
car
fare.
fare, and make sure you have your own money for your meal fare, car
Mm-hmm.
fare. Because
Cover it and then
people
get in someone else's car. Go.
people coming out the house like y'all. We're gonna get some more stories about first dates and why y'all argued over $200 because I'm genuinely concerned. But I hope everybody here has a great week. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.